What's up, guys? We're the Sports Junkies. Just a couple buddies that honestly we grew up playing sports together and just always talk sports and debate. So basically figure might as well make a YouTube channel. So I'm Davey.
And I'm Jordan, the greatest debater on earth.
We'll see about that. Let's jump into it. We got Wildcard Week of the NFL. And it honestly was not as wild as I was hoping it was going to be. There's some good games, but there's definitely some good blowouts. So
Yeah.
let's jump right into the first game. We got Cincinnati versus Las Vegas. This game in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow's first playoff game. And
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on this game?
Not gonna lie. Last week I called this being a much more of a blowout than it was.
Yeah.
I thought Cincinnati would run away with it, but Carr showed me again that he's a fighter. David Carr's a fighter.
Yeah.
I respect that. He wants to win. Can't hate somebody for wanting to win. In the end, the Bengals won. That's what I thought would happen. Like you said, Joe Burrow, it's his first postseason ever. I think they could have played better. There's no doubt about that, but he seemed cool, calm, and collected in the pocket, and definitely seemed ahead of his time. Kind of seemed like he had been there, done that before.
Yeah.
Was able to hit his favorite target, 9 receptions. I think he targeted him 12 times. Jamar Chase, he had over 100 yards.
He's a beast.
So that duo is going to be a hard one to stop. It seems like they went from college to the pros and just are going to wreak havoc on the league. So the ending was how I thought it would be. The Bengals won the game, but I definitely thought it was going to be by more than 7 points.
Yeah.
What about you?
It was a good game, honestly. Yeah, I predicted this game to be a complete blowout. I didn't have much faith in Carr and in the Raiders squad, but this game was a lot closer than I anticipated, and the Raiders had a lot more fight in them.
Yeah.
Than I was expecting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even to the end of the game, they had a chance to tie it there at the end. So, but when we look at the numbers, I mean, Carr, I think he threw for 54 times.
Yeah, throwing it all over the yard.
Right. And, I mean, his QBR was very subpar. I think he was in the 60s.
Yeah.
Where Burrow was 110 QBR. I think he was 24 for 34. So he played more efficiently, but, the Raiders played a lot better. I think the momentum that they have is going to, I mean, if I'm the
The Bengals played a lot better.
Well, I think the Raiders played a lot better than I anticipated.
Okay.
Them. So I think them going into next year, I mean, they fired a coach this year.
Yeah.
And so I think what they have going for them, I think, is good. So if I'm a Raiders fan right now, regardless of that loss, I know it sucks, but I think that
Definitely have something to be hopeful about.
right.
To be honest, they finished better than I thought they would. I didn't see them being a playoff team to start the year.
Yeah, seriously.
And definitely mid-year when old Chucky goes down, I definitely didn't see them hitting the postseason then. So they went on a stride. Their interim head coach held it down. I think held them together. I wouldn't mind seeing them giving him a chance at the head coaching job, give him the duties. I think he earned it.
Yeah, he probably won
to be
himself
honest.
a starting coach.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they'll announce he's the starting coach,
Right.
the full-time head coach moving forward. Kept them together, created a culture of people who want to win, and I don't know what more you can ask.
Yeah.
In a coach. Got a fair squad. Jacobs went for over 100 yards all-purpose. That's their horse, obviously. They ride him. They go as far as he goes, and he had a pretty good game. Again, I think we both think that they overperformed what we thought they would. But like you said, new stadium, new atmosphere, a lot happened to them this year.
Right.
They've been through a lot and were able to stay together. I think Carr's a good leader. I think this speaks a lot on Carr's leadership skills, because I don't think this team should have been a 10-17. But
You think you're rolling with Carr for the next couple years if you're the Raiders?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see why not. I think he's proven that he can play. I like Carr as a quarterback. He's proven he can be clutch. He'll win you some last minute drives. He's a baller. I guess, maybe Deshaun Watson's out there, and if that's the case, see a car.
Yeah.
Be a used car at that point. You can get out of here if Deshaun Watson can come over. But I don't know that that'll be the case, and if not, I don't see any better quarterbacks out there.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Besides Watson, I mean, I don't. Yeah. I think Carr's. He's got that. He's got the locker room behind him. I mean, I think that in a couple years they do have the potential to. I mean, they made the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So, as long as you're making the playoffs and having a chance like they did, I mean, I'm rolling with the quarterback I got.
On the same page with Wallard,
Right.
with Renfro. Josh Jacobs seems to want to work. I don't see why you break that up, especially with all that they've been through. Who was it? Was it Ruggs? Who's the...
Yeah.
I mean, Henry Ruggs goes down, which is supposed to be, their premier receiver because Wallard's a tight end.
Right.
So, got Ruggs, who's your speed guy, and unfortunately we all know what happened to him.
Right.
Back in Las Vegas. So, a lot of things they had to overcome this year, and I think they did that. Run it back.
Yeah. But Sean, I just want to talk about Ruggs here for a second. And one thing that's always blown my mind, and I'm not an NFL player. I don't know what I would do in these scenarios, but one thing I do know is that the NFL provides literally all players with Uber, Lyft, limo services for free. They just don't want you to drunk drive. And we see a ton of players getting DUIs. And so it's always blown my mind.
I agree. I mean, let's take away the NFL providing it.
Right.
These players are multi-million-dollar players.
Right.
I feel a little bit for him because he's in his early 20s.
Right. Yeah.
It's mistakes we tend to make.
Right. I've been there.
He went out there, got behind the wheel, shouldn't have. I'm sure at this point in time he knows he shouldn't have, but he did, and the worst happened.
Right.
And it's ultra shitty. I mean, he's going to have a price to pay for that, but in my mind, he's a kid still, and it's tough to swallow. It's definitely tough to swallow, but you're right. The NFL provides so much. You make so much money. I know it's cool to want to hop in your car and go 150 miles, but you just when you're that elite and you play for an NFL team, you've got to be smarter than that. You've got to be better than that. But it's another hurdle that they had to overcome this year.
Right.
They did it.
Yep.
And yeah, I think run it back.
They had other players step up. Say Jones had a good game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, one of the better games this year.
But the Bengals jumped off to a good start. They really, I think Jacobs only had a total of 13 rushes total.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, he didn't have many rushes.
So to see him kind of get put behind and they just started having to pass.
Yeah. That's where you're going to get 50-plus passes off.
Right.
Fall behind early. Pass to catch up.
Right. So Cincinnati played well. Got to tip your hat to their game plan. I don't think Mixon really had a huge game.
What is it? Cincinnati's first playoff win in 30 years or so.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to him.
Right.
The dancing Burrow, cigar. Burrow's got swag.
Dude, he
Burrow's got
does.
swag.
I saw his outfit walking in, and I was like, he's looking classy right now, man.
He's a G,
looking
dude.
good.
Yeah.
So impressed with the Bengals. We all thought they were gonna win.
Yeah.
So no surprise, but Raiders put up a better fight than we thought.
This next game, most definitely more impressive on one side of the ball. Buffalo versus New England. What did you think about that?
I mean, Belichick is a mastermind, and I think he just wants to just completely delete this out of his history book.
He has to.
That was not good from the start.
Mm. At no point in that game was it good.
No. I mean, they chose to receive the ball at first. New England did, which is always questionable.
Yeah.
Most teams will want to receive it at half.
Yeah. Kick it and see what happens.
And the second they flipped that coin, that game was over.
Second they flipped that coin.
I mean, Josh Allen ran over the Patriots. A defense that is extremely good.
Extremely well coached.
Extremely well coached. And they made them look like the Patriots should have never made the playoffs.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I mean, they looked confused the whole time. I mean, the Patriots had no idea what the different coverages, and, I mean, Josh Allen meant to throw a pass away, and it turned into a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, that just sums up the game right there. I mean, you got everything going for you. It was a very cold game, and the Bills came out to play.
Bad luck. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes it does.
Right.
I mean, you got Allen rushing for greater than about 66 yards on 6 attempts. He's going for over 11 yards an attempt. I mean, your quarterback.
Right.
It just... New England blew my mind. I thought this would be a much closer game. In fact, I sniffed an upset on this game. Like, Belichick, he's been doing this for forever. The genius of defense. I mean, he's a genius anyway.
Right.
Last time they played, he threw 3 times. He allowed his rookie quarterback to throw the ball 3 times. First of all, if I'm the rookie quarterback, that's disrespectful to me, but whatever. He allowed his rookie quarterback to throw the ball 3 times, which was fine. Run it all over him, that's what they did. And they won the game.
Yeah.
But it was a different Bills team.
It was.
They came to play. They were coached better. They were more ready.
Right.
Situation favored them a little bit. Played up in Buffalo, had a little bit of a home field advantage, and took it to them. I mean, this was embarrassing. This is the most embarrassing loss I've seen Bill Belichick face.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, worst loss by Belichick.
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, this shows you just how important Tom Brady really is. Like, Tom Brady's down there in the sun, out there in Tampa Bay, loving his life, advancing again. Last year, he wins the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick has to watch from his couch as they tried to figure out the Cam Newton mess.
His basement.
Yeah. Just hiding away as Tom Brady's smoking another cigar and raising the trophy. This year, Brady advances again.
Right.
Belichick is home. Yeah, granted, he made it another step further. They got Mac Jones. I think that he'll be a good quarterback. I don't think he'll be Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think he'll be a good quarterback. He'll be serviceable. They'll win a lot of games with him, but I have a hot take. Bill Belichick will never win another Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
Never.
That's a bold call. I don't see that being too far-fetched. But the one thing I do know is coaches have a lot longer lifespan than players do. So
You think Bill's got a long lifespan ahead of him?
I mean, if Pete Carroll's still in the NFL.
Pete Carroll's in much better shape than Bill. Bill looks like he's about to... That cut-off sweat jacket shirt that he wears, he looks like he's done to me.
He's getting there.
He looks like he's done to me. And I think in the next couple of years he's going to realize he's not going to get a championship. It's going to make him even more done.
Yeah, I can see it. He's a winner, and if he starts to have some bad seasons, some losing seasons, and he doesn't feel like he can be the best asset for the Patriots, and that's definitely the point that I think he'll step down.
I mean, this takes you back to the whole decision, right? I mean, Bill wants to get rid of Brady. First time, the owner, what's his name?
Kraft.
Robert Kraft, saves Bill. or saves Brady.
Yep.
Says, no, we're not getting rid of Brady. We're keeping him. They win another Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay, Brady ages a little bit more. They don't want to sign him. They get rid of him. He's done. He's washed up. I get rid of quarterbacks and all my players a year ahead of when I'm supposed to. Whatever. Genius Bill Belichick. Who was more important?
Right. So does this tarnish Belichick's whole legacy?
In my opinion, it does. I always thought, in my opinion, players play. Coaches coach. The coaching game means more in the college ranks.
Yeah.
In the NFL, I don't think so much. Players play. Coaches coach. Okay, you know when to call a timeout. You know when to kick a field goal. You know when to go for it on fourth. But if you don't have that guy out there that's quarterbacking the entire offense and can audible out of what he thinks he needs to and get himself into something more or something better, he can read. I mean, you're talking about Tom Brady, who sits and studies defenses and just knows by the look what he should run. Yeah. And he changes up the play. And I do think I don't know that it tarnishes Bill's legacy. I think it exposes him.
Yeah.
I think it shows that what I've been saying the whole entire time, Brady deserves 90% of the credit and Belichick deserves 10%. I think now, more than ever, that rings true.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I think that, yeah, Brady going, everybody had question marks, and him going to win a Super Bowl just was the check mark he needed for everybody to call him the GOAT.
And I think he can redeem himself by winning a Super Bowl, but I just said it. I don't think he will.
Right. But hats off to Josh Allen. I mean, I think that's the best game he's played regular season, postseason.
Played well.
He played amazing. And
47-17, Davey.
And that 17 was given him there at the end. I mean,
yeah, garbage time.
That was ridiculous. And Kevin Knox, tight end, played really well. Diggs played well.
Mm-hmm.
Sanders had a touchdown, first game back off of injury. Yeah, this is a good team.
Yep.
If I'm the Chiefs, and we'll talk about that game in a little bit, but I'm excited for that game. So
that's going to be a good game. Got a lot of good games coming up. You're right. We will get to it.
Yeah. What did you think about? Speaking of Brady, we had Brady and the Bucks hosting the Eagles. Jalen Hurts.
Do you want to know how this game went?
I don't know.
Exactly how I thought it would go.
Yep.
Brady steps out there, dices him, looks him up, looks him down, spits him, chews him up, spits him out.
Yeah.
That's what Brady does. That's what he's been doing for 20 years. We all think he's old and washed up, and this guy's 44, and he's got to be done. Listen, you can never count Brady out. He's got 7 Super Bowls to bring with him, a whole lot of postseason action. This guy knows what to do. He's going against Jalen Hurts, who's a rookie in the playoffs.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is his first kind of sniff at the playoffs. Right. So I didn't expect much out of him, but I definitely didn't expect much out of him when I figured they were going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Rough game. I mean, from the second that Brady snapped that ball, he had control of that game. I mean, after the first quarter, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. I mean, it was. It hurts, honestly. Some of his decision making is just very questionable. I mean, I saw some very wide open players.
Yeah.
And he overthrew them. He was playing like a rook out there.
I don't know that he runs through his progressions just right yet. I don't think he can see stuff before it happens. In the NFL, you have to throw people open.
Right.
In college, where he comes from, the Oklahoma sling it wherever you want, all around the lot type offense, that doesn't work in the NFL.
Right.
And so you have to be better at being able to throw your receivers open.
Yeah.
And I don't think at any point in time he's gotten good at throwing receivers. I think he's quick to bail. He's quick to leave the pocket to try and go get himself some yards, which okay, but I think he'll be okay. He'll be a good quarterback. He'll be serviceable.
Right.
But he's got to learn how to run through his reads, kind of calm down, remain in the pocket, trust his blocks, and be able to throw people open. And until he does that, you're going to get scores like 31-15 in the postseason.
I don't even know how the Eagles made the playoffs, to be honest with you. I mean, me personally,
Shitty division.
I think there's 3 teams in the NFC that were better than them.
Who?
I think in at the end of the season, I think they started to play a lot better. They had a rough middle patch, but I think the Seahawks were better.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks would have done better against Brady.
I think you're right.
I think the Vikings would have done better.
Yeah.
And I think the Saints would have done better.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 teams I think would have performed better in the playoffs against Brady. And we saw what the Saints did. I mean,
oh yeah, they have their number.
Yeah, they made Brady play his worst game, questionably, of his entire career.
Yeah.
So
how many points did they get that game? Did they even get 3? There were 0.
Yeah,
they zeroed
9-0.
Zeroed them. Wow.
I don't care if I'm Tom Brady's wide receiver. I'm probably having a touchdown. In a game. You know? Like
that's what he did all his career in New England, is picked out Joes and Schmoes up in the 3rd and 4th row and said, "Hey, you want to come catch a ball? You want to come play?"
Right.
And was able to win himself some rings there. So
So once again, blowout.
Evans came through over 100 yards.
Yep.
Mike Evans came through. Obviously, he's got Gronk, which is his favorite kind of blanket.
Yep.
As long as Gronk and Brady are together, you're gonna be threatened.
Right. And then you got Fournette coming back next week, so
that'll be big. They're still banged up.
Right.
But again, if you got Tom Brady on the field, you just have that cool, calm, and collected mind who doesn't get rushed up. That he plays at his own pace, knows how to read a defense. I've counted him out too many times. I've learned my lesson there.
It's true. So another blowout.
They happen. This one, I'll get your take on it. But what did you think about the Dallas Cowboys versus the 49ers game?
That was my upset.
You did call that last week. You did call that last week.
You know, I'm not a big...
Good for you.
Thanks. I'm not a big Cowboys fan, and I never will be. Because I see them do this ever since I've been born, okay? These guys, they just choke, man. I mean, they will have players that are fantastic. Dak, I mean, they threw for the most touchdowns in history of Cowboys. Okay? Like, they were just blowing records out. But you get them to the playoffs, man, and I don't know if it's the front office. I don't know if it's coaching.
You know, Jerry Jones is too damn involved.
There he is.
He needs to step back, hire a general manager, and just step back.
Yeah, he's way too involved, and we see it year after year. I mean, too much pressure on, too much trying to change things with these coaches, and I mean, the 49ers, they played a very, very well game. They came out and they just punched him in the mouth.
Their defense was flying around.
That defense is mean. Yeah. And the struggles that they had on offense, I mean, CD had 1 catch.
I don't think they had a receiver over 100 yards.
No.
The Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott was virtually useless.
Yep.
And I know they rendered him useless early on because they jumped out into a big lead, but if Zeke can't get you more than 50 yards, like, you can't win a game. The Cowboys do the best when they're balanced.
Right.
When Zeke runs for 100 yards, they win.
Yep.
If Zeke doesn't run for 100 yards, it's questionable. The Cowboys are so upsetting because on paper they look like they have this team that can just go out and just beat you up. Like, on paper, they should win a championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the last couple of years.
Right.
But that shows you the difference with on paper and actually putting a game plan together and executing. They're a completely different team when it's time to execute, when it's time to throw the game plan together. Ezekiel Elliott was not worth the money they gave him. They should be asking for any money they gave them back. We want the money back, and we want you out of here.
Yeah.
Because we'll take Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Zeke. You robbed us blind. You're not trying anymore. Ever since we gave you the bag, you quit playing.
Yeah.
Give us the money back and go.
Yeah.
Zeke is pathetic.
That's why he came up with his. Because
Yeah.
he's eating all their
He's
money.
eating too much. He's eating all the money. A couple years ago, I mean, he came in okay shape this year. Last year, he was way out of shape,
Yeah.
just eating all the money, eating all the food, and just robbing the bank.
Yeah.
And I think Jerry Jones is easy to rob, so I don't blame him.
Right.
I'd rob him too.
And it's not. I mean, the coaching staff has experience. I mean, Mike McCarthy was with Packers. I mean, he did have Aaron Rodgers carry him to a Super Bowl.
And before that,
Favre. But, it's all.
is Dak Aaron Rodgers or even Brett Favre?
No, I think Dak is better. I mean, he looked confused in that game.
254 yards isn't going to get it done, especially if you're not
no.
rushing for anything. You're not running. And I think he had over 100 of those in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, they were playing catch.
That's what he does. He's the assassin at coming back in the fourth.
Right.
Like, okay, we get it poured on, and then in garbage times, Dak will go get you 14 points.
Right.
And it's like, okay, where was this all through 3 quarters before this?
Right.
It's like he's good at these comeback things, and so everyone thinks, oh, Dak's good, because he does. He provides a lot of these sparky 110 yards, 150 yards, fourth quarters. But it's like, what did you do 3 quarters before that?
Right.
He didn't do anything. 254 yards. He missed 20 attempts. 20 attempts.
That's crazy.
I mean, but the 49ers, their defense is going to be banged up moving forward.
Nick Bosa had that head injury, and to be honest with you, the second that he went out and Fred Warner, that game switched.
Yep.
And you could see the Cowboys getting a ton of momentum from that.
You could.
It was...
In fact, if that game would have gone to overtime...
Yeah, I don't think the 49ers would have won.
I don't think so either. I know that there was an exciting finish.
Right.
In fact, I want to ask you about this finish.
Yeah.
You know about the finish.
Right.
We're tick, 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 tick. Time's coming off. The ref's behind the play. He's got to run. He's got to set the ball. And you know what happens.
That's all on Prescott.
Okay, why?
First of all, why are you running the ball with that much time left into the middle of the field? I know you got to get
Had an open space.
You had an open space,
field.
but that lost you the game.
Did that lose you the game, or the ref not being there to set the ball?
So, listening to some of the commentators, Dak needs to know that the ref has to touch that ball. And so, he needs to be grabbing that ball and giving it to the ref. But Dak went and placed it to where the ref had to run to.
Yeah.
And then the ref had to get the center out of the way, place it back there. I mean, that cost him literally one more play.
Yeah.
And so I think, if you are going to run like that, you got to be smart and know exactly what to do at that point. And they were scrambling. And personally, I think you need to throw another pass to the outs.
Yeah.
You need to get somebody out. It's because then if you do another pass to the outs, you stop the clock. That's potentially two plays you can throw into the end zone.
Who you passing to? Dalton Schultz. He's the only one that did anything in the game.
I mean, Amari still.
You still have those guys. CD
played terrible. They
just
shut
a
him down.
bad game. Just
And he's young.
21 yards.
Yeah, rough.
I mean, here's my take on that. It's obviously not what lost you the game.
No.
Right? I mean, I get the questionable running down the middle of the field and getting the ball down. I understand all that. I also get where Dak's thinking,
Right.
But it's a game of seconds and a game of inches. But you didn't lose that game on that play.
No.
And we can't sit here and act like they lost that game on that play.
No.
That game was lost in the first, second, and third quarter.
Yep.
So we shouldn't even be talking about this play.
No.
This play was interesting how it came down. This was not the reason the Cowboys lost the game.
No, not at all. No.
Period.
And it's very Cowboy-esque. It just rings Cowboys.
What does Steve Nace say? The Cowboys will do cowboyish things.
And I 100% agree.
And I 100% agree.
Yeah.
They will not let you down.
Yeah.
They may have this ridiculous run, and they may be 12-5, and just they look hot. Let's let them get into one postseason game.
Dude, They're also in the shittiest division in the NFL.
That's just basically a close your eyes and walk into the playoffs division.
Seriously. I mean, you put them in the NFC West with the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks.
They're last.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Cowboys do what the Cowboys are going to do. And you see them hit the Megatron with the football.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do something about that.
Yeah. They thought, I remember when they built that thing, they said, oh, this will be too high.
Yep.
People will be hitting it. You had their fans crying. Did you see all the fans crying? Just like, oh my gosh, dude! Like they are just so. I don't blame them. Since the mid '90s, they've won anything, but they are just. Their fans are delusional.
You see them running through the gates at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
like it's
and
freaking
throwing
black.
shit at the end of the game. They were throwing all this stuff at. They were saying the refs.
Right.
But looked like to me they should have been throwing it at the players because
the players
play the game.
Yeah.
Refs ref it. I don't think that game was blown by reffing. The Cowboys are the most penalized team
Right.
all year long. That's not from this one game.
Right.
That's all year long. That can fall under Mike McCarthy. You guys are not disciplined.
Nope.
You're penalized. You got more penalties in this game, and penalties may have been the difference of the game.
Right. Dude, Deebo Samuel is.
Oh my gosh.
He is a man among boys.
He is. That last run that looked like it was a first among replay. It was a little short.
I thought it was.
Think it was there?
That was tough. It was
I think
so
they spotted
close.
it good.
I think they did too, yeah.
I think they went back, they reviewed it. I think that was a good spot.
Yeah. But that touchdown he had.
Oh my gosh.
I know that he went to the coach and said, let me have it.
Yeah.
Next play.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Get us in. Deebo. Just a scary team to play.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be facing them.
No. All right, let's go to the next one. This game was kind of similar to another game, and I think we both expected this, but we had
I think the whole world probably expected this one.
we have Big Ben, potentially his last game versus Kansas City Chiefs. Man, this was an interesting one. After the first minute. Because how fast was that? I think we got to see a little bit of everything I wanted to see in this game.
Yeah.
I got to see TJ Watt score that touchdown and make it 7-0.
Yeah.
And then I just saw Mahomes absolutely destroy this Steelers team, which, I don't know. What do you think about how Mike Tomlin feels about that game?
I don't know. Mike Tomlin, I love Mike Tomlin. If there's any coach I would want to play for in the league, it would be Mike Tomlin. But I think he knew, he almost had this look on his face, like, I know it's Ben's last year. It's almost like he didn't, like, I got this feeling he didn't expect much out of this year. And just even getting to the playoffs was like, okay, like, my legacy lives on. We're still, like, I still don't have any losing seasons. But he didn't think he was going to win anything with Big Ben. Big Ben is out of shape, out of sorts, and moving forward is going to be where he deserves to be, sitting on his couch eating potato chips. That's what Big Ben looked like he was playing like. If the defense wasn't going to come through, the defense wasn't going to give you some points. I mean, these guys can't get past 14 points if their defense doesn't give them some points.
Seriously.
Some turnovers, which, that's why you pay TJ Watt. But I really feel like Mike Tomlin, I watched his post-game interview, was just like, look, it was Ben's kind of last season. We gave him his little parade, and now he's got to go back to the drawing boards. Because don't get me wrong, Ben had a great career.
Right.
Ben was a great quarterback. Like, won him a Super Bowl, got him to another one, if I'm not mistaken, and did a lot of great things for Pittsburgh. But his time was 2 years ago, and everybody knows that.
Right. I think he has 2 rings.
Does he have 2 rings?
I believe so.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, he came into this game saying they didn't have a chance.
Yeah. No.
Like, vocally told.
Well, he's right.
And, yeah, he was right. And
Big Ben has been playing like a pile. I don't know how else to put it. Do you think he's had a good season? Do you think? I mean, they made the postseason.
because of that defense and Tomlin and good coaching.
Yeah.
I think is the sole reason. And they didn't have any crazy wide receivers. I mean, Deontay Johnson had a good season, and I think Najee Harris will have a good career.
Yeah, Najee looks good.
But
only 29 rushing yards, but
yeah. But when you're playing a team like this, the Chiefs, and I mean, the Chiefs just did exactly what the Chiefs do. They're kind of doing what Brady has done a little bit, as far as they're finding these players that are just exploding.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy he had an amazing game.
Yeah.
I mean, he was running so hard.
Yeah.
And he is not that big out there.
Yeah. I mean, he played well.
Right.
He had over 120 all-purpose yards, right?
Yep.
And, yeah, I mean, they know how to play out of people, but you got to stay honest with them, right? You can't sit up here and pack the box.
Right.
Because you got all these targets out there. You got Kelsey, who decides he wants to throw himself a couple touchdowns or touchdown. Look like Brett Favre in there slinging the thing. Damn, you put that right in there. I mean, you got the cheetah on the outside.
Yeah.
So you can't. They got a lot of speed.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good returns from Hardman.
Yeah, Hardman.
You see a lot of those returns.
Yep, Hardman had
a lot of good returns. Put them in good field position, favorable position. I mean, this is what we thought it would be. Yeah. The Steelers should have never made the postseason. The Chiefs are a good team. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, an all-time quarterback. And so 42-21, yeah, it's about what I thought.
Mahomes is one of the most interesting players to watch, in my opinion, because you'll see him, and if you watch the first quarter and watch that offense, it really, I mean, they did not look good.
Yeah.
But Mahomes is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Once he gets into his groove, the guy is resilient. He's freaking unstoppable. Once he gets into that groove, he finds all of these players and he elevates every single one of them. I mean, I think they could have scored 2 more touchdowns, like, if they wanted to. Like, they were just throwing those balls wherever they wanted to.
Yeah.
It was a fun game if you're a Chiefs fan. Fun game to watch.
Yeah. Bad game if you're Steelers. But, hey, I think you overperformed this year. So, once again, Mike Tomlin doesn't have a losing season.
Right.
And you move on. You got to go find your new quarterback.
Right.
Maybe Deshaun Watson.
Seriously. Hats off to Tomlin. Hats off to Steelers. Adios, Big Ben.
All right, let's move on from that game. That was the one everyone thought. This one was kind of interesting, too. Rams, Cardinals.
I thought this was going to be a really close one. You know, I think both teams match up really well. They have similar, firepower on offense, some really good defensive players. But, it really didn't go the way that I thought.
Oh, no.
It was...
How did you think it would go? Did you have the Cardinals winning it?
I had the Rams winning 24-20.
Oh, okay. So closer.
What about you?
I had the Cardinals winning it, but for some reason I thought D-Hop would be back.
Yeah, I thought so too.
A lot of reports said he would be back.
Yeah, it's true.
I figured out, and I knew this. I knew how good of a team they were with D-Hop, but I figured out just how bad they are without him.
Right. And
Kyler Murray looked lost. He looked like he didn't know where to go with the ball because he didn't have that safety net, that Mickey Couture blanket that keeps him nice and warm in the middle of the night. He didn't have that guy. And they're going to have to figure it out because D-Hop's getting older.
Yeah.
He's starting to face some injuries.
Right.
He's not going to be there to carry that team.
No. They need a wide receiver too, or a better tight end. I think they got a good running game. I mean, Connor has played very well.
Played well this year. No doubt about that.
Chase Edmonds, I think, is a good player, but I think once you see Hopkins go out, you really saw them get exposed on their wide receivers. So, I mean, Kirk didn't have a good game. I think Moore will be a good player, but he's young right now. But I mean, Stafford's got a chip on his shoulder, I think.
He better.
I mean,
he finally got that postseason win.
Right.
He was on a long list or a short list of of players that have never won the playoff game, and he finally gets to check that. Imagine how good to check that off. I've been in the lead for 11 plus years. And it's good for him. I like Stafford. He always did well over there in Detroit. He just didn't have, and you want to know what? He didn't. It's not like Cup came and ruined this game. It's not like he just had his fingerprints all over it. No. In a way, he did, because you got to stay out there. You got to keep eyes on him. But big pickup for them this year, Odell Beckham Jr.
Man, they made some moves for him.
People thought that in Cleveland, Odell was done. He was cooked.
Yep. His career is over.
And in fact, those guys in Cleveland were saying that's why quarterback Baker looked so bad.
Yeah.
And then his dad posted that thing on social media showing all the balls Baker was throwing at the dirt and throwing in the stands, and saying, how you blaming my son on this? And he what does he have, 7 touchdowns or so with the Rams?
I think it's
6 or 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
In these last month and a half, it seems, 2 months.
And he had 0 with the Browns.
Like he's wide receiver 2 over there.
Yeah. Right
now.
Yeah.
And they're missing Robert Woods.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Great way of filling that spot. And Van Jefferson, I think he's a great wide receiver 3. We also had Cam Akers.
Got Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee. He plays
good
really
tight
well.
end.
Yeah, great.
I'll take him. Akers comes back. What did you say earlier? Akers in his is he Achilles?
He tore his Achilles and had surgery in the summer. 6 months of recovery, and he comes back, and I think
maybe looking like he played the best ball of his career.
Absolutely. And I hate to see that hit on Buddha.
Yeah,
that was rough, and
you see him say, "You're too small."
Right.
You're a small guy.
That's tough. I know that he came out and publicly apologized to him.
He didn't know at that point in time. He was down, rolling over. He had no idea.
And Buddha's okay.
Yeah.
He released, said he's fine. So, Cam Akers looked good. It was good. But I mean, Kyler looked like a freaking rookie, man. He was making decisions.
Looked bad.
I put him right next to Jalen Hurts. I mean,
I'm in my own end zone. Right. Let me just flipper. flipper. Like, come on.
Oh man. Like,
don't take 2 points. Give him 7.
Seriously. Like, those decisions right there will lose you a locker room. When you start making stuff like that happen,
good call.
It is just, I mean, that'll lose a whole locker room for you.
Good call.
So, I was pretty disappointed in how the Cardinals. I thought it was gonna be a great game. I was excited
to be better. I had the Cardinals winning it. I don't think in fact I know I wouldn't have picked that if I knew for certain Hopkins was out. But
right. What about Cliff Kingsbury? I mean, fans right now are coming out. They want him fired.
Do they?
He's been there for 3 seasons, and honestly, he's made them better every single year in the regular season.
I disagree with wanting him fired, but.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
What's the argument?
That he doesn't know how to close. I mean, it goes back to his college days. I mean, I showed you that stat earlier. I mean, every single college stat of the last final games, 5 or 6 games, including bowl games, he has a losing record. Mm-hmm. We go into the NFL, it's transitioning to the same thing. He'll start off 7-0. That's how they started this year. And then he just kind of falls off. So, is it...
I wonder why that is.
Is it the pressure getting to him? I don't know. But do I fire him? No.
No,
you give him a couple more seasons.
No, you don't fire him.
But if he has a real rough season next year...
He's got the boy genius on the other side he's coaching against.
Right. Yep. So, pretty disappointed in that game, but, the Rams definitely looked like they're...
Scary.
That was...
Aaron Donald.
Yeah. Ramsey.
Crazy defense.
Yeah. They came out to play, and Donald was eating them up all game. So...
Let's do a couple quick fires.
Okay.
We got a couple of games coming up this week.
It's going to be exciting.
2 teams on the bye, Titans and Packers.
Yep.
So the number 1 seeds that were on a bye, but they'll be here. They'll be back and ready to go. I guess I'll start with you. We'll start with the Titans versus the Bengals. What's your score and why?
I think this is going to be a good game. King Henry is back, one of my most favorite players to watch. He is exciting. He throws players around. But
Like Shaq in the NFL.
seriously, yeah.
Too small, boy. Too small.
You see him next, like you put him next to other running backs, and it's just a joke.
That guy's a joke.
You think it's photoshopped.
And he's back.
And he's
a lot
back.
of people thought it was not career, but season ending.
Right. So we'll see how he does with his foot injury. But, I have this game. And this isn't even my upset game, but I have the Bengals winning this game. And it's just because I'm going back to my philosophy in the playoffs. And it's what quarterback do I trust more? And I trust Burrow. I trust Burrow over Tannehill right now. So I think he's a better game manager, and so it could go both ways. But I have this game 28-24 Bengals. What about you?
I'd be surprised on this one. Titans are good. You said it. Derrick Henry's back. Ryan Tannehill got him a number 1 seed with Derrick Henry on the sidelines. A lot of it. Julio Jones. They have Julio Jones. They have Brown. They've got a good receiving core. But I'm taking the Bengals too.
Oh.
Taking the Bengals as well. I am.
All right.
Taking the Bengals. Give me Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Give me Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Give me Higgins. Give me Mixon. I want to see Burrow. He's going to go to Chase for, again, more than 100 yards.
Yep.
I don't think I have the... What was your spread?
28-24.
Okay, we're close. I got a little bit lower of a game. I got the Bengals winning 24-17.
Okay, touchdown. I like it. Okay, let's jump to the next one. This is the Saturday night game, 49ers-Packers. What are your thoughts, and who do you got?
49ers versus the Packers. This one's tough. I don't like the bye. Let me just get that out there.
Yep.
I've never been a fan of the bye. Just like I'm not a fan of college. As you go into bowl season, you get a bunch of weeks off. I don't think the teams are playing at their best. A little different in the NFL. It's only one game. Gives you a little bit to rest your players. But so we've got Jimmy Garoppolo versus Aaron Rodgers. Who am I going to take in that? The same even 49ers would take Aaron Rodgers. And I know you guys want him to come play for you, and maybe you'll get him over there. Devontae Adams, I think, is the best receiver still alive in the postseason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you disagree?
I mean, I think it's close, but yeah.
Who do you got?
The only other
Give me an argument.
Kupp.
Kupp, okay.
I think Kupp is a good player, but playoffs are different. And Adams has proven it in the postseason. Kupp hasn't yet.
No.
And he didn't have a huge game.
And he didn't, yeah.
So, I agree with you there. Right now, I think I'll take Adams over any wide receiver.
I think so in the postseason right now. Best receiver still going. Aaron Jones. I know he's been nicked up, but that guy is a threat out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's
and just because you get the bye, I know I hate it, but hey, you're well rested. Aaron has some fungus toe or something going on and likes to show the media and likes to show us all his feet and his toes. And not a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers, but he does spin the ball well. I got the Packers winning this 34-24.
Okay. Deebo Samuel is a beast. I like Elijah Mitchell. But Jimmy Garoppolo can make some real interesting decisions. And I saw it against the Cowboys.
He tried his hardest giving that game away.
He did.
Did he not?
Yeah, he was trying
to give that game away. The Cowboys wouldn't take it.
No. He was like, hey, I got this on a silver platter. Yeah. Here's a fork. I'm going to cut it up for you. You just got to take a bite, okay? Yeah. And they didn't. So,
overthrowing people, overthrowing a wide open touchdown.
Right.
Just.
Right. But I think you take these amazing quarterbacks. I think Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you give them a bye, and they capitalize on it. They play very well after a bye. So, yeah, I got the Packers winning this game 33-17. So, I don't think it's going to be as close, especially with the injuries.
34. So,
pretty close.
10-point spread for me.
Then we got first game of Sunday. Got Rams at the Buccaneers. We got the GOAT.
I'm going to do something that I know is going to surprise Davey. Something that I told myself I'd never do again. But I'm going to do it. And
Let's hear it.
Probably going to eat my words. I got the Rams winning this one.
Oh, this is your upset, huh?
This is my upset. I love Tom Brady because I love winners. And he's the best winner of all times, maybe in any sport.
Okay.
Serena Williams is good too. But that game I saw, man, if they can duplicate that, I just don't think that even Tampa Bay with Tom Brady has enough to keep up with that. You got Aaron Donald coming downhill. I mean, it's scary. They're scary. I think Stafford's a good quarterback. He's not Tom Brady.
No.
In this one, I'm going to go against my philosophies a little bit, where I think the better quarterback should win. I do think the Rams have a better defense right now. Von Miller's playing well.
He is.
Von Miller had a really good game. You said he got Cooper Kupp. You got the hidden gem over there, Odell Beckham Jr. You got Sonny Michel. They do it by committee. Jalen Ramsey out there playing defense. This team is loaded, and if this team puts together a good game, I don't know who's beating them.
Yeah.
I got the Rams winning 28-21.
Oh man, going against Tom Brady.
I hate it.
It's tough, man.
I hate doing it.
It is tough. You know, I'm gonna go opposite with you on this one, okay? I can't bet against Brady. I've done it for years, okay? I've always wanted Brady to lose. Tom Brady is gonna go down as the greatest quarterback ever, greatest player ever in the NFL.
Can't dispute it.
And I can't bet against him. So I know they got Jalen Ramsey, but I just don't. This guy just knows how to pick defenses apart. They're going to have Fournette back. I hope. And Giovanni Bernard had a good game.
Yeah.
So I can't. On paper, I think the Rams win if we're looking at stats. But once again, I can't count Brady out. So I have this one going the exact opposite direction as you. I have the Bucks winning 28-21.
Oh.
So I think it'll be a close game.
That'll be a good one.
Let's finish with this final game. I think this is the game I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
This is a rematch of last year.
Yep.
And I just remember that photo.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs watching the Chiefs celebrate. And just my heart went out for him, man.
Don't do it.
But what do you think about this game? Bills at Chiefs. Sunday night game.
Bills at Chiefs. Well, Josh Allen might be the one quarterback you look at right now and you say, I'm not going to trade this guy out for Patrick Mahomes. Got some pretty good upside.
Yeah.
That's hard to say. I think almost any other team would trade their quarterback out. The Bills could say, I don't know that we'd trade Josh Allen out.
Yeah, that's tough.
But in the end, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's got the cheetah, Tyreek Hill out there on the edge. There's some defenses that have been able to contain him, but not so much in the later season.
No.
You got Travis Kelce, monster. He can throw him.
Yep.
He might even throw a touchdown. You don't know.
To Mahomes.
Tyrann Mathieu out there, is he playing?
Yep.
I believe so. He's been good. I mean, he's a safety that can go get you some turnovers.
Right.
He's got a nose for the ball. He's the honey badger.
Yep.
That's what he does. He goes and gets the ball. I do like the Bills, but I don't see them pulling it off here.
Okay.
I got the Chiefs winning it in a close game.
Okay.
This is close for me. I got the Chiefs winning 31 to the Bills 28.
Oh man, that is a close game.
That's a close one, bro.
Close one. Josh Allen is an absolute monster, especially compared to last game when I saw from him. I love Stephon Diggs. I love Emmanuel Sanders, Kevin Knox, even that Gabriel Davis. I think they got a solid squad, and their defense played really well. But when you're stopping Mac Jones, putting up that many points, you're not going to do that against Patrick Mahomes. So I think this one will be
Most exciting offense of the last 5 years.
Yeah,
4 or 5 years.
Absolutely. With I mean, you could probably take the top 3 wide receivers for the Chiefs, and they're probably top 5 fastest wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, they're crazy.
I mean, when Hardman and Tyreek are sitting there saying who's faster than us in the NFL,
Yeah.
and you don't have very many people talking.
Yeah. You got Hardman returning them.
Right. And then you got Mahomes' arm that can throw it to him.
Yeah. Any angle. Sometimes he worries me, but
Right.
he always seems to come. I got him coming down the field for a last-second field goal.
Right. So I have this one scored very close as well. I actually have the exact same score as you. I have the Chiefs winning 31-28.
You got the Chiefs winning it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for this weekend. I think there's going to be some good games. I really hope it's a lot closer than this last week. But you know, we'll touch base with everybody next week and kind of go over what our predictions were. And but I think that basically wraps up our week.
Got a few more rounds of the playoffs, so you'll be able to join back up with us. We'll post every week.
Right.
If you like, leave a comment.
Right.
Subscribe. We'd love to grow the community of kind of sports heads and sports junkies and be able to talk sports and have a lot of fun doing it.
Right.
You know, put the camera on the tripod for an hour or so and be able to have a lot of fun. So if you like it, subscribe. We'll be back every week. And we got basketball coming up. We love the NBA, so we're going to keep this thing rolling.
Yep. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Sports Junkies out.
We out.